Hello, everybody. We're festive early, 14 days early in the McAllister hours with Austin Blythe.
Yeah, happy holidays. Welcome to Des Moines. We're in Des Moines, dude. We're live this Saturday afternoon. It's like Saturday afternoon live, dude, on the McAllister hours.
Happy holidays, motherfuckers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you doing today, man?
I'm doing pretty good, honestly. I had last night off, so I was able to hang out with some friends last night.
Fuck yeah.
I didn't have to get up at 4 a.m. I have to get up at 4 a.m. tomorrow, though. I do work tomorrow.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, no, I worked at like 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. shift, so it's not like too bad. But
Yeah, but Jesus Christ.
yeah, no, it was wild adjusting to that sleep schedule. I don't want to talk too much about my work, but like getting adjusted to like that sleep schedule where I'm up at 4 a.m. but off by like 1 p.m. at the latest, it's nice because I'm able to do things. And like at my age, I should start getting up earlier anyway and being more productive during the day. And it has helped me do that, so it's been nice.
Yeah. Do you ever just, not to talk more about your work, but like, do you ever just like pull an all-nighter and just like go right into 4?
Not anymore, dude. I used to do that when I worked at a factory in Montezuma. So my dad, like, he's worked at a factory for like 20 years in Montezuma, and I got a job there like right after I got out of high school and like worked there for a year. And I used to go out on the weekends, just like do my thing, and then Saturday and Sunday I'd work, and I would go there just off no sleep and work 8 hours, dude, and just put in hella overtime. But I think that I did my time doing that, and I've gotten over it being able to do that. I go to bed at like 8 p.m., 9 o'clock. I have to get 8 or 7 hours of sleep, get up that early, or else like, oh yeah, dude, I'm fucked.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember I used to work at the theater, and, you know, because that's when I started partying too and shit. I would just like, it'd be like 4 o'clock in the morning, I had to be up in 3 hours. I'm like, okay, do I just stay up and just make it through the shift, like take an Adderall, or do I just like take a nap and be fucking awful the next day? And like there were times where I just took the Adderall and I made it through, you know.
Oh man, dude, yeah. If you get that,
I don't
Adderall,
recommend
like
it, though.
70, no, dude, like Adderall and Vyvanse, I don't use them a lot anymore. Like people think that they like help you focus and stuff, but I remember like I'd take an Adderall, think I was gonna do a bunch of computer work, and just end up reading a bunch of blogs and stuff, or like going down a rabbit hole of videos. Being like, I got absolutely no writing done on this homework today. Like I was like, this is fucked up. I remember the first time I took a 70 milligram Vyvanse. Like,
Holy shit!
Oh my god, dude! I was like 18, 19, and I was at a party, and I was talking shit. I was like, Vyvanse don't do that much, and I took a 70 milligram Vyvanse, and nobody else took one. And I stayed at my friends. They didn't have a TV or anything. They were all passed out, and I was just like laying there in the room, like, God damn it, dude! I should not have taken that. Oh my god, those things are not to be fucked with, dude. I haven't even seen one of those in years.
Vyvanse, yeah. I can't remember if I ever took that one or not. I think I've just taken Adderall.
Yeah.
Maybe I took one of those.
They're the real deal, man. They definitely get you going.
Yeah, I take extended release, like 10 milligram.
Got you, yeah.
Like maybe once or twice a week, depending what I got. But I think it's important. I don't know, because I'm a big like advocate for any kind of drug use. So I think as long as you use it infrequently and smart, I don't think that there's
some people do need it, and I think that's the same thing with Xanax. Like a lot of people who take Xanax definitely don't need it, but there are some people who like need that, like to get through. Like it really helps balance them out. It helps them get through a social aspect. I couldn't imagine having the anxiety that I do sometimes, like all the time. Like just like some people deal with that. They can't talk to they can't have conversations that they want to have because they just feel like they're worried about what they say. They overthink things. So like I get that doing like Xanax and Adderall is responsible, but I did like a paper over it in college about how they gave it to kids, how they just put them on Adderall. Well, that's like moms who are wine drunk, can't handle hanging out with their kid for more than 8 hours. So they put him on Adderall, and like I did a whole report over this, and like how they've tried to take him off of that now, and like how it went into like Adderall, and then it also went into Xanax. Like the studies that showed that the kids that were on Adderall had like social anxiety issues like that, and how it like led into them being put on Xanax later.
Wow.
So it's just like
I never even thought of it that way.
Yeah, no, and like even like Lauren, he'll tell you straight up. Like I think we even talked about it the first time me and him were on this podcast. He was put on it at a young age. And, he said like he just like snapped back into it when they took him off the medication. Like he doesn't remember, like it was going through the motions type shit. Like he just didn't feel like he was actually himself. Like and that's the effect that it has on some kids. Like some people never like are able to come back from that until they're off it, and then you realize that you missed so much. Yeah. So you just have to be careful. Like that shit sucks. The pharmaceutical industry sucks. They're not like they're not looking out for you by any means.
No, well, yeah. I mean, that's always my apprehension for anything. I take I like to think besides marijuana, I take like very low amounts of like pill medication.
Yeah.
Only I take a mood stabilizer and take some like gastrointestinal stuff. But I mean,
Yeah.
I used to take like Klonopin and Xanax, and I felt like it really like. I mean, I get what you're saying with Xanax, but personally, I think it's like very, very few people should be taking Xanax.
And it takes a part away from you, like,
exactly.
as a person.
Yeah, well, and it's very zombifying. Like I remember just like being on Xanax and just being like numb. Like I imagine it's what like heroin addicts strive for.
Oh yeah, and there's more. Like it sucks, dude. Heroin's one of those things too. That's because of the pharmaceutical industry has become what it has today. Like, hey, you just put a bunch of fucking white people on painkillers in the 2000s. These white people got addicted to it. They feel like they deserve it. So then they take it away from you. And then they arrest you for it, and then like that's why fentanyl's getting pumped in, and people are like fentanyl's getting pumped into America because people want that high that painkillers got them from back in the day. And now you see like commercials, like if you watch NFL Sunday Football, you just see commercials that are like, your uncle, your dad, your cousin is not bad because of his pain pill addiction, and I'm just like laughing my ass off because it's like fuck you guys for making it seem like it's such a like a poor this guy for having this addiction, but then 40-50 years ago they just dumped crack into like just straight into like Detroit or like straight into major cities, and then like locked up and incarcerated a bunch of black people, and then like made them feel like criminals and like the enemies of the state and shit. But now like it's white people that are just dying of heroin or like addicted to painkillers, but it's like, oh, poor them. Just like, shut the fuck up.
Have you seen Arkansas's like super racist COVID advertisement?
No.
Look that up, Molly. Arkansas COVID commercial.
I'm not surprised.
It's the funniest fucking
My
thing.
grandma lives in Arkansas, and she lives like a dry community. So like, oh man, dude, I haven't been there for years. I could not imagine what I'd be like in Arkansas. Just go out to a Razorbacks game one day or something and just get turned
there we
on.
go. It's just go to that second one. Or, or no. Sorry, try that third one. I can't make up my.
Richard Johnson is not a drug dealer. Dick Johnson, baby.
I'm surprised you couldn't just pull it up on YouTube. I'm telling you, they're trying to hide it, man.
Oh, I believe it, dude. What was I trying to look up the other day? I don't know. It was something to do with the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, dude. Or no.
Oh yeah. Well,
we'll watch this, and then I'll let you know exactly what it was.
Yeah. Play that.
You have to understand, I'm a hustler. I'm a legit entrepreneur. I sell things. I come in contact with people all the time. I have to stay safe.
A black-owned advertising firm called The Design created this vaccination ad, hoping it would encourage more people to get the COVID-19 shot.
If you live the type of lifestyle that I live, you out here in these streets and you hustling, an entrepreneur like me, why not do it safely?
But rather than encourage, some people say they're just offended. Like these people who took to Twitter to share their reactions, one of them saying, quote, "This is distasteful and stereotypical." The creators say that wasn't the intention.
Is that the creator?
Richard Johnson is not a drug dealer. Richard Johnson is not a fake entrepreneur. Richard Johnson is an entrepreneur who has a luxury clothing line.
Myron Jackson, president and CEO of the company, says his firm
resonate with people, and they do what we need them to do. They spark discussion. They're very provocative.
So why did the company feel it needed Richard Johnson to say he's a hustler who sells things in order to get black people vaccinated?
Just straight up. You probably look at the marketing, like the marketing director, like the marketing team on that, and you're just like, oh, these guys are just whitewashed as fuck. Probably old as shit too. Just like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Like, let's really, like, Arkansas will love this. And then it's like, yeah, he should have definitely specified that he had like a clothing business or something, and they didn't need to use the verbiage that they had. Like, cause I got my marketing degree this last year.
Okay.
So I got my AA for that, and I'm working on my digital marketing certificate. I'm like a web development class a day. But you start to, like, Haley will call me out all the time. I'll be like just talking about like marketing tactics and just shit like that. So I like observe things in a different way, like for commercials like that. And you just think about who has to pass that. Everybody had to pass that. Like in the top guy, the CEO, like that had to come to their door, and they had to be like, oh yeah, that's a great idea. Like, let's put that in there.
Do you think though, like some of them just like don't care? Like I feel like half the people in that chain probably didn't even look at it. They were probably like,
honestly, yeah, you're right.
Oh, like,
one
okay,
or two people that were like, the CEO appoints like one person to check it out, and they're just like, oh, I'm too busy, so I'm this.
They probably just like looked at they saw that there was a black guy, and they were like, all right, good.
And then I like how they also had to when they had somebody give their explanation, like to somebody who had to speak on behalf of the company. It was also a black guy. They were like, I know that they were just like, hey, will you do this? Will you do this for us? And he was like, why?
They're just sweating. They're like, find a black guy! Find one! We need one right now!
Where did we? Yeah, dude. And who knows on the hiring chain where they had to go for that? Like, what position? Now, I'm just messing. I hope it's not like that. Like, I really do. But yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah,
somebody should have questioned that along the way.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, at the end receiving end, people were like, what the fuck?
I'm also available if there's any marketing companies who do need somebody to be like, hey, that's a bad idea. I will be that guy. So just
Stutterbox
let me know.
Productions.
Yeah, for real. Let me know if you want my resume.
So speaking of Stutterbox Productions, you've been working with Lolo on the hip hop showcases recently. Right?
Yeah. So I'm very minimal on the hip hop showcases. As Lauren like spoke about that, like my work, I show up to the events. I help run Dora for sure. And like if he had I try to help set up, and if he has any questions about like marketing wise, I feel like more so I was who's someone Lauren could look to about what I've done with like my past events myself. Like a lot of the inspiration, like a lot of the posts and stuff like he's seen how I've marketed my events in the past, and he's seen how I've ran my events, and I feel like he's taken like a lot of that into how he runs his events, because he's solid, bro. I said it like a couple months ago. I was like, I'm stepping down as the promoter of Stutterbox Productions, and I'm gonna work on my rap career, and Lauren's taking over. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna see how that runs. As long as JJ's not in charge, we're good.
Fuck yeah. You guys have a very I can tell just in the time that I've known you, you guys have a very good relationship, both professionally and personally. And yeah, I think that's a really great thing. I think you guys are both doing a lot. It's cool to see.
No, me and Lauren's relationship is so funny, dude. The first time we met this dude, he did not like me, and I didn't like him, dude. I thought he was a cocky little asshole, and he did.
He is. But...
Yeah, he definitely is, and I've learned to love it.
That hasn't changed.
No, for sure. And Lauren, it's funny, dude. Lauren used to be a big boy, bro, and he used to like shave his head all the time, and he was very prideful on being a wrestler at the time, bro. He hung out with some hicks, and I just remember at a bonfire. Like one of my first interactions with him, we were at a bonfire. We went to this old college outside of Oski. Totally shouldn't have been there. Like I don't know how we pulled so many people back there. And then we started a bonfire with a bunch of brush they had. Like somebody else's brush in the middle of the woods at this old Menard college. And so we were back there, and I don't remember what started it, but he was like, oh yeah, if there was a mat right here and I'd take your ass down. And he was just like talking about how he was a wrestler and because I was a basketball player. I don't even know why it was that big of a rivalry, but he was like, if there was a mat right here, I would take your ass down. And I was like, oh bro, dude. But no, and me and Lauren, dude, that guy's been for me. He's just been there for me, and I've been there for him when like a lot of people haven't. Like when I was couch surfing a couple years ago, and like 4 years ago now, not even a couple. Our 4-year anniversary for Stutterbox is coming up. Yeah. So like around 4 years ago, 4.5, 5 years ago, I was like living at his apartment on his couch, dude, and we were going through some shit, dude. 2017 and 2018 were some years that we probably don't remember most of. We were doing some ratchet ass shit in Oskaloosa. But at that time, we were also like, I'd been traveling festivals for years. I've been like traveling festival of the circuit since like late 2015, 2016, and like I'd always knew I wanted to do something in the scene. So like when I started after like the festival circuit, after like 2017 was when I went on this like pilgrimage where I went to Okeechobee, which was in Florida, to like start the year. I think I started the year off at a New Year's Eve party in Chicago. It was like the first Gucci Mane performance out since he got out of prison, and it was like, oh my god, that shit was so fucking lit. And then I went to like Okeechobee in March, that was in Florida. I went to this festival called Middlelands that was ran by the people who throw like EDC, and it was just a Renaissance music festival, and it was just fucking stacked, and that shit was like the last day was like Flatbush was the headliner, like Cascade, Bass Nectar was one night. They had Dino Squad, like a rap group. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No,
what the fuck, dude? Old school. But yeah, they just like went all over the place. I went to that both weekends of Electric Forest, and I'd really I knew I wanted to be a part of bringing what I was experiencing to Iowa. Like, I loved all the friends that I made over time. I'd made some connections with some cool ass DJs, some people that I still work with to this day that I knew I wanted to bring through Iowa and build my own little community. So that's kind of how the dream of Stutterbox began. So I just started putting stuff together. We came up with Stutterbox because our homie James Fuson, he smokes mids, in case anyone wanted to know that, dude. Guy smokes hella mids. You should ask him about it. Give him shit about it whenever you can, about him and his mid-smoking addiction.
Hey, some people are addicts, we gotta do what we can.
Yeah, just straight off the old brick. They just can't. It's like nostalgic to them. They just can't stop. Okay, but James, he was like the reason. A lot of people ask, like, Stutterbox Productions, what's the meaning to it? It's like, it doesn't have a lot of meaning to it. And, like, as a marketer, you think, like, I'd be pissed about that. But, like, at the same time, like, as a marketer, I love the fact that our name is just kind of like, we picked it because, like, it's just what sounded cool to us.
Yeah.
And we just started it. Like, it means a lot to us. So, like, it more to JJ, like, that was his old beatboxing group. And he wanted to call it Stutta and then BAWKS. And I was like,
The government didn't want us talking about that.
Yeah, no, no origination of Stutterbox stories. But yeah, and I was like, no, we have to like make it so people look it up and like actually know what it means. But I think it's cool, like so that's how Stutterbox began. We've done a lot of cool things with like the logo and how it looks and stuff, instead of like sticking by the name and the meaning of it. So that I love that about that. And then so yeah, the start of that, we began Field Trip, which a lot of people have loved that event. Our first event was just an all-night party in Sigourney, Iowa. And that place was like where I grew up, kind of like 15 minutes away, like small town ass bullshit, dude. There was a cop station, the only cop station like in Keokuk County was there.
Wauchier?
Like in Sigourney, but like it's like 10 minutes from Wauchier,
okay.
Where I lived.
Okay.
And like, man, I don't even know how we pulled it off. They just accepted the rental fee, and I paid that. And yeah, dude, nobody got arrested at the show. My girlfriend got arrested on the way to the show. She wasn't my girlfriend at the time. But yeah, she got pulled over and got caught with weed, and they arrested her. No. Yeah, so she didn't even get to make it. But yeah, and like we pulled a fast one, dude. Even like the whole town knew we pulled a fast one after the event. Like the tow truck companies, because we had to go back and get my girlfriend's car because they towed it. So like a lot of people were happy they made money. The hotel made money. It was completely booked out. And yeah, so that shit was tight. That was the first event I ever organized, Field Trip. And then since then we've had Field Trip 2. Well, just Field Trip, but the second Field Trip. And that was last year. We had like right when COVID kind of slowed down in Iowa a bit, we made sure to have a lot of restrictions. We made it Iowa local only. We made sure to check temperatures before anybody got in. It was also really hot too, and like sunny the whole time, which was really good for like the conditions wise. Like that's good. Like keeps people healthy if they're in the sun and stuff, and like at a nice, decent, warm temperature.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially during the time. But we had that at a beautiful place last year called River Farm Recreation.
And that's Jackson, right?
Yeah, no. He's Rainbow Lake.
Oh,
wow,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. River Farm was like this place over... What town? I don't even remember what town that was in off the top of my head right now. Man, I forget. But it was this beautiful place. It had like a big ass pond in there, and it had like a dock on it that people would go swimming on. And we had like 2 stages, and it was like there was a bunch of shaded camping in the woods.
Wow!
And it was like
That's
awesome. Beautiful. They sold it to some guy who's building a house on it. What a piece of shit. Like, I'm gonna build a house here. Like, I was like, man, we could probably make this guy money if I could have had more than 1 year there. Like, it would have been a solid ass place to have a festival. But
we should get the Starbucks mob over there and just tear it down.
Yeah, for real. Just
like,
give them hell, picket sign them. Yeah, I don't know if they started building, but the guy's like a CEO someplace over here in West Des Moines is what I got the rundown. But Rainbow Lake, that is where I know Jaden was on the podcast here a little bit ago, and he was talking about moving Clusterfunk out there. And one of the plans was to also move Field Trip out there, because I work with Jackson a lot. I have he worked for me on the last Field Trip. He was a huge help to me. Like, he was probably the person that I honestly paid out the, like, besides the artists and stuff, but like worker wise, I paid him the most money because of how big of a help he was. And he's helped me with like running sound or like loading in on, he's like helped me travel or carry staging like to my show this weekend. He's been a huge help to me. And yeah, I went out and visited the venue last year, Rainbow Lake, and it's a beautiful place, dude. Like, and it's close to where I lived. It's close to Watch Here.
Oh,
It's only like a 25-minute drive, 30-minute drive from Watch Here, an hour drive from Des Moines, an hour drive from Iowa City. It's a nice central location. I've got home roots there, and dude, I love working with Jackson, and I know that him and his brother have a lot of cool plans out there. Like, the land's beautiful, and I hope that we can get something in 2022. Like, that's when I hope we can bring Field Trip back. So probably want to, I don't know how I want to do Field Trip yet. I don't know if I want to make it like a fall event or like have it in September, just because like the seasons have been like lasting a little bit longer. I think like winter you think usually hits in like February and March now, like actually hits. So like moving into later fall around my birthday too, it'll be just fun to celebrate around that time. So I don't know. Hopefully fall 2022 if everything goes right. But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. Speaking of Watch Here, we were actually just in, what was it, this last summer? We were in Watch Here?
For what, the flea market?
Yeah. that was interesting, to say the least. I don't think I've seen that many Take America Back flags.
Oh my god!
And I that can't imagine this place in a while.
I haven't been to the Watch Here flea market since I was shoplifting stuff there in like the 6th grade. Oh man, dude, I don't know how much shit I've stolen from the Watch Here flea market, bro. We were some corrupted ass youth.
You know, I don't think you're the only ones. Man.
Yeah, no, hell
it's
no.
Like it's these old fuckers. Like they're like looking at their fucking newspaper.
Junk too. It's junk. Like we always used to like do this thing where we'd call our friends and act like we were their parents to try to buy the BB guns too. So yeah, dude, I know all about that Watch Here flea market.
Oh, that's funny.
My grandma. I used to work at a bunch too. So my grandma and like my McKay side of the family was like one of the like he watches over and like mowed the lawn there around that time too, and like did all that work on it. So like my family's like very connected. My uncle was mayor of Watch Here. So I'm thinking maybe one day if I just ever want to like run away and go off grid, dude, I could just become mayor of Watch Here. And like run my own town. I really think I have a good chance. A college degree.
Yeah.
Like
hey,
I already have family.
Like,
yeah, exactly. Like I got family who ran it. My family's ran the fairgrounds for a while. I'd love to do like a festival there, but I think a few more people had to move out, or I'd have to like move it inside. I don't know. I've talked to last time my brother graduated down there last year, and I went down and I was down there at the taco shack on the fairgrounds, and I was just talking to him about it, and they were like, "You could get into the fairgrounds here. Like I just have to like avoid the flea markets and their fair and stuff." It'd be so fun to throw like just a multi-genre festival and Watch Here. They've got like this little grandstand. You were there, so like where the figure eight track was. So it'd be a pretty cool thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds kind of primitive maybe, but for like Iowa, you gotta take advantage of what you got. Think about like Woodstock. You know, that shit was primitive as fuck.
Yeah, if you build it, they might come. You know, and as long as you like, I wouldn't do an all electronic festival there. It just wouldn't make sense. But like, I would try to play towards like the Keokuk County, Lamahaska County, that's southeast Iowa, dude. Me and Lauren have talked about even just like organizing a country event. You know who I've like started listening to a little bit? Who has a couple songs? Like it's only 2 songs. I think it's Kane Brown. He has my god. I think he has this song with he has a black bear, the song called Memories. He's like this pop country artist, like Florida Georgia Line type shit. And then he has this song called Be Like That with Khalid and Sway Lee. Dude, and I had just been bumping those, and it's gonna be embarrassing when he pops up in my top 5 next year because every time those songs pop up I don't change them. But I was like, I haven't listened to pop country like this since I graduated high school, and Florida Georgia Line was like popular, and I was just like working concrete construction, just like, yeah, living that southeast Iowa life.
Damn. Yeah, I can't do country. That's like, I appreciate like Johnny Cash and you know stuff like that.
And I like appreciate that, but I still don't do it. I don't listen to like old country or anything. I don't. But pop country every once in a while, dude.
Yeah, I can toss that for you if you want.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem. Oh shit! You might have a little more?
Yeah, dude.
I don't want to drink you out.
That's fine. I got a lot more bourbon than eggnog. I wanted to stop on the way, but I was just like, nah. I was excited to get over here and start chatting.
Fuck yeah, man. Yeah, I you know, one of the things that I've always really appreciated about you and what you do. Here, cheers.
Oh, yes, sir.
Thank you. Whew.
Oh, I didn't put any bourbon in mine, dude. I just drank straight eggnog.
I thought maybe you were missing something.
Loaded up.
Maybe I didn't know. one things I really appreciate about you and your organization is, you know, and this isn't to like say that you like at all, not even remotely, that you know, we're not taking precautions, but like you know, you have really pushed for like trying to get performances started, you know, sooner than later. Like, get, you know, like you're one of the first people I remember, like after the you know, the pandemic happened and everything, like pushing back, like you're pushing forward to try to get shows in, try to get people out, you know. And I don't know, for me personally, I really appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that like you had to be very careful with. And honestly, I couldn't have done it in different places. Like I couldn't have done like tried to push shows forward. Push forward. I had a funny thought that I'm gonna get into, but I couldn't push shows forward like I wanted to if I like lived in Chicago or like California. Like I had some artists from California who I booked, and like I gave them the rundown that it was gonna be safe, like the reasons that like why we were having the festival, and then they ended up backing out anyway. And like we're like, well, and I was like, well, we agreed that it was like safe. We agreed at the time that like what I was doing was safe, and you guys are backing out because you guys are like you're afraid of like the precautions of it. But I was like, but that's not what we agreed to, and I kind of gave them shit for that. Because like what we did, like we made the mask required, like we made sure that people were getting their temperatures checked on the way in. We had, like it was all set up very well. But I also got away with it because we live in Iowa, and I was definitely not a pioneer in Iowa to keeping shows going by any means. Like I had field trip, but there was people who didn't stop partying. Like maybe Iowa shut down for 2 weeks, but let's give a big bad shout out to Nightingale for running shows the whole time and banking out the EDM scene for milking out their whole run. They're the only reason they're still alive is because they just banked on the EDM scene and then just tossed them aside, wouldn't pay them enough after the pandemic ended. Just wanted more club stuff. So like, yeah, fuck Nightingale, the old Lime Lounge.
Oh,
yeah, no,
okay,
fuck them. And if you give your business to them, you should just fucking stop, dude. Those guys suck so bad. Like, it's just like an awful place. One day I went there, and like the only reason I went there is because I had a bunch of friends who just like played there, and I like to support. Like, it was just one of the only places that you could go out and support and like promote and hang out with people. And I got there one day and I was banned because the owner said that I was talking shit with one of my friends. My friend was talking a lot of shit, no lie. But like, it was well-deserved shit. But I stayed out of it because I threw field trip, and like it was like kind of during the pandemic, and I got some heat for that. But like I said, I don't feel bad at all.
No, you shouldn't. Like, I not at all.
Yeah, no, it ended up being just fine. And I've had people apologize to me, and I've made my amends with some people who talked a lot of shit during the fact and like said some mean things, like some awful things, dude. Some people, you get some backlash, and like I get it. People are scared at the time. And I get that, and that's why I went out of my way to not talk shit on this establishment that I already didn't like. They were throwing shows the whole pandemic and banking off. I was more pissed they were just banking off the EDM scene to keep themselves alive during the pandemic, and then I knew they were going to toss them to side, which they did, stop paying them as much as they should be paid. And then, like, yeah, I showed up one day, my ID was, they said I couldn't get in, the guy was drunk there, the owner, and he was just like, you know what you said. And I was like, I don't. I was like, what did I say? And he was just like, you know what you said. And I was like, bro, this is fucking pointless. I was like, I'm glad I never have to come back here. I was like, fuck you and fuck this place. And he was like, get the fuck off my porch. Little does he know, I went back there one night and just like sat there and partied with my friends on the porch. Like, with my friends, it was like an after party after a show, and we just went there and just got drunk as fuck, bro. Everybody was like just laughing about how I was there and how they were just like, fuck the owner. So I was just like, dude, the guy sucks. Everybody hates him, dude. Fuck Nightingale. Stop going there. But yeah,
the McAllister Hours is officially saying fuck Nightingale.
Yeah,
don't stop going.
Yeah,
you have this podcast approval on that statement.
Yeah, we've got like a club of people who's just like got banned from that place. Like, there was a whole ass club, like, and I made that post, and then people were like, how do I catch a ban from Nightingale? So we started like this huge movement where people wanted to get banned, so they were just saying the most outrageous shit about Nightingale.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, dude. And the guy sucks. The owner literally, like, I remember one time a politician, like, he was saying, he was getting a little handsy, like, he like sexually assaulted a woman. He was like, well, the woman shouldn't have put herself in that situation, or like said something like that along the lines. And I was like, dude, he should have been canceled for that. That's when like my friends pulled off a weekly that they were throwing there. And then it got taken over by somebody else, like just took the whole thing and just started throwing like another Sunday Night Weekly. But my friends backed out of it. They got banned years ago for just standing up for like the bad, like you just don't say shit like that. So the guy's just a scumbag. He sucks. Nobody should be working with him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's good that you stand by your morals and stand by, because you know, it is business, but in a sense, you also kind of you want to maintain your reputation, your voice. You know, I even with the podcast, you know, I've had episodes where I've looked back and I've like, you know, let people say things and like, you know, like they're not representing the podcast, but at the same time, it also looks bad on me to not say something if it like really goes against what I like. You know, I'm not like I'm gonna like, be a dick about it, but I'm at least like, gonna be like, you know, challenge it, maybe like, you know, are you sure?
Yeah,
like, are you sure that's like, you know, respectfully? There's a way to respectfully,
especially if
that.
you feel differently about it. Like you honestly do feel different. It'd be not right of you to not like kind of just be the devil's advocate and kind of give your point too and like think about that. Especially if you do think it's gonna affect the podcast like that. Like, and even if you said that to me, I'd be like, yeah, all right, I'll chill out on the fuck Nightingale talk. We can move off that, honestly. But man, dude, that place, oh man, I've given it too much time already, though, honestly.
Everybody's gonna start going. God damn it.
No, hell no, bro. They're gonna stay clear of that place for sure.
Pieces of shit sounds like great sponsors for the pocket. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, hit them up. They'll tell them to watch your latest episode. Tom, we have a huge segment on you guys.
This guy's just as much of an asshole as we are. We could use him. I saw you recently when you were posting about this episode that you were doing some like merch collaboration.
Oh yeah.
Get into that. What have you been doing with that?
So I started this. I'm not gonna get too much into it because we have the design done and like the idea is concepted and I've even got some of the artworks done, but it's a very minimal artistic project on where we have this character and we're going to use this character and he's going to be like the face of our new little clothing design. And it kind of resembles, you remember Rip and Dip? If you remember the cat in the pocket? No, where it was like flipping people off. Oh man, I wish I had that. But the Rip and Dip merch line, it's like this cat. It was like a Zoomies thing.
You want to look it up, Molly?
Yeah. Look up the Rip and Dip cat. I used to wear this shit all the time, bro. But it was just like this. It was just this cat in the pocket usually, and you pull it down. It was just like flipping. It was like flipping it off. It was like some skater.
Rip and Dip. That doesn't look familiar at all.
Yeah, there it is. There's the cat. So we're gonna have our own little character. We're gonna have our own little character, and it's not gonna be quite like a flipping people off. It's gonna be more like a little peace sign type thing. We've got our own little character that I had a friend design up. And so I had my homie Taylor Davis of Third Vision. He's made a bunch of really cool logos, especially for like, he made Lolo Savage's logo. He made Nobel Price's logo. He's made a bunch of really cool logos for people in the scene, especially on the EDM side of the scene. So shout out Third Vision, 88th Wonder. He runs both of those. He's been doing a lot of designs, a lot of clothing designs. So I had him design this character of an idea that I had. And so the character is just going to be a little guy, kind of, I don't want to give too much, so it's going to be funny and people are going to love it. But it's very minimal. He'll be sticking out of the pocket. And it won't be like a huge, we'll have like, I think we might have like a black Stutterbox logo on the pocket and like keep it very minimal. Because I don't want it to be like a Stutterbox, a huge like Stutterbox like thing. I want it to be more about the design that we have of the character. And I want to do like different collaborations with like different companies. I know that I'm already working on somebody. I sent my homie JC. She works for House of Leopold's Seth's wife. Yeah. So she does like she did all my artwork for Field Trip and stuff. Hell of a graphic designer. And I sent her just like what Taylor had done, and she was like, "I want to make one," and I was like, "I want you to make one." So she's working on a 420 design. So we already have like another one where we're gonna have a 420 design of this character, and I want to do things like I have a Field Trip one, or like and like keep it doing it. And that kind of jumps into like a little thing I wanted to talk about today too, because I wanted to bring more awareness to this, to like a live audience about, you got into it recently, the DSO social media platform.
I was going to talk to you about that. So yes,
nice. Get into it. Okay, so I'm going to use this character and, okay, so I'm just going to give a little explanation. The DSO, like the Diamond app and like the Clout feed, I think is what you can use. But it's like that, it's a social media on the blockchain. And so pretty much it's like Twitter or Facebook. You make your posts on there. But you can also do a bunch of other things. Like you can like, post, retweet, obviously. But you can also give diamonds where you can actually pay, like give like cents or dollars to people, like a like comment. But instead you're giving like cents and dollars to people on their posts, like what they're doing. Or and also when you make the Diamond app, or you make like the social media platform, when you make the account, you also create your own creator coin. So essentially you have your own personal like Bitcoin over yourself. And this makes it easy for people to invest in your brand, invest in like you. Like they want to put money into it because as the more people invest, it's like the Bitcoin. It's like Ethereum. As more people invest, your coin goes up in worth. So the more the little bit that they invest, it keeps going up too. So it's just like a way for people to invest in that company and like watch them grow and like put their money where what they believe in and also grow themselves too.
And the more people invest, the more value your coin has.
Yeah. So like I like right off the bat when I made it, like one of my friends, Mercury, Alec, he's an artist that I've worked with here, and he was on that shit months ago, maybe even a year ago. He was like a pioneer to this shit, and he's very popping on that platform now as an artist. And he's like, you can make your own NFTs on there. So you like mint your NFTs, and the thing about NFTs, people think you're like buying an image, and you're not. You're not like, you are buying the image, but anybody else can take that image. Mostly what you're buying is like the fact that that image is yours, the original one, and also what's attached to it is also yours. So he like sells like one, like if you buy like one whole diamond from him, you get an artist pass for his whole life. Like you get into every show for free that you want to go to.
So it's I didn't know that was a thing with that.
It's about what you attach to them. So like for my merch things, or like I want to do things with my idea for the character that I have. I want to make like 5 NFTs of the original one, and I want you own that NFT, but you also get like a free shirt with it. And then I also want to maybe make like an NFT attached to like a design that like if you buy this NFT, you get a free shirt every time we make a new one of our characters, like a new like collaboration with that little character.
Okay.
So like you just get a free shirt forever. And like another thing you can do like with Stutterbox, I plan on selling an NFT one day that it's probably only going to go for like hundreds of dollars. Hopefully, maybe it goes for hundreds of dollars, where you'll get a free VIP pass to like every show. And like a field trip, maybe I'll do something with field trip where like you get to run around with me the whole time, and like you get to see like what I do when I'm like running this festival, like because I'll be doing a lot. Like a field trip, I was on that golf cart like moving stage to stage, making sure that like set times were going right. I was like all over the place at field trip. I lost my voice by the end of the weekend, and I feel like you can get a lot. Like if you like, you can get experience on seeing like what you have to do to run a show like that, and like people might want to do that, and people will pay like good money to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And then as you you attach that thing to the NFT, if you sell that NFT, you can also make sure that the next person who sells it, you get a percentage off of it. So Stutterbox Productions, or like even Lolo Savage, he wants to start doing the exact same thing, like get into his shows for free. He has a chance to become bigger than Stutterbox ever will. And I think that if he were to sell that NFT and then like, yeah, somebody buy it for a few $100, if he ever blows up to like even the size of like obviously Drake or Kanye, somebody like that.
Yeah,
or
well,
like
even lower, smaller, like mid-range.
Yeah, even like Flatbush or like somebody smaller in that range. Like people will buy that. They want to have that meet and greet experience with them, and it could sell for thousands of dollars, or like $1 million, dude, if you get big enough. And then if you can attach that, you get like 10% of that. So if somebody sells that for $1 million, you get $100,000 like in the next sale. So that's like the cool thing about NFTs. Like it is like, it's all about the value of the person who's buying it, but at the same time, it's really like investing into what you believe in and shit like that. So like that's why it's become so popular, and people have been buying. It's not just buying the image, it's not just buying the artwork and the content that's attached to it. It's buying what comes with it, and like and like knowing that the person who's selling that to you will hold their word, and you'll get like what you're purchasing and stuff like that. And I think there's a lot of benefits that people, like artists especially, if you're not trying to get on this NFT, that like it could simmer out, but it could also last just as long as, like, people have been saying that about like Bitcoins and cryptocurrency. Like it could last just as long as this is going. And I think signing up for the decentralized social media, people like Floyd Mayweather actually just like, there's a bunch of accounts on there for famous people. Floyd Mayweather just accepted his account, and he's actually on the platform. So like he's on there and he's like making posts about how people can invest in his stuff. So like the more and more people that jump into it, you're gonna wish that you jumped in sooner. I wish I did. I wish I would have jumped in a year ago and started doing this and getting in on like the decentralized social media, because it's really a cool way if you're doing a business, or you're trying to become like, if you're trying to become an influencer, like you're trying to sell, if you're trying to sell yourself, if you're trying to sell honestly yourself as like a person, a business, like you want to be on here so people can invest with you. And like it could be the future, and you don't want to miss out if it is.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I don't think it's a crazy idea. I think if people like us who are on the ground up, it might sound crazy, but if one of us blows up, it like logically it just makes sense. Like you buy a very large portion of this thing for a very small amount, and that increases. I mean, and if you lose, you just lose a very small amount of money.
Yeah, true. Like always only invest what you can like afford.
Yeah.
Like it is great. Like I got into crypto like last December, maybe 2 Decembers ago. Man, time flies. I don't even know. But so I got into crypto, and it's like I've made some money off crypto, and it's like helped me out a little bit too. But only invest what you can afford to lose, because who knows, like something bad happens, like something major, like a world war is announced or something, you're losing everything. Everybody's gonna pull out all their money, and if you don't pull it out fast enough before the big people pull out theirs, then you're like screwed, and it's down to worth nothing again. So like, you always have to be ready for that drop and that pull out, because you never know when it could come. But like, it is solid. Like, do your research, do your investment, and like get into these things, because it very well could be the future.
No, I mean, I'm a big Bitcoin believer myself. Nice. I mean, like I said, I think it just makes sense. Like what we're seeing right now, I think they just announced that we're in the highest inflation rate that the U.S. has ever seen. I mean, the not to get like too political or economic here, but like the value of the U.S. dollar is dropping.
Oh man, and we can get political and economic. I love that shit, dude.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, so no, it is bad. Like inflation, and like you just see people, and like there's so many people who are blind to the fact that like, well, if you just work a bunch, then you'll make up for it. It's just like, no, this generation's working more than the bootstrap generation who like pride themselves on working. Like this generation is working, and they're making a lot less, and we're not buying houses, we're renting, we're living month to month. And it's just like people don't want to see that. They're like, people would rather say, well, I have a good $15 an hour job where I work 60 hours a week and I'm doing just fine. It's like, it shouldn't be like that. Like people should. There's more to life than working 60 hours a week and like not being able to do what you want, not being able to spend the time the way you want without even stressing about it. Like you don't have the money to even spend after working that much too. Yeah. Like there's a serious problem, and we're not like right now. Crypto is a good way. Like a lot of people are getting rich off crypto, and if you're smart about it, like you very well can. And that's like a cool thing, and people aren't having to work as much. And that's the cool thing about our generation too. It's like, we find ways to work without
a lot of people are
working.
very innovative.
Yeah, no, they definitely. A lot of people have their side hustles. I was watching, they were talking about, it was Workaholics. They did like the last season on Paramount Plus, and they're like, you don't have a side hustle? And like the three guys, so the main guys were like, no, this is our main hustle, and we just go and smoke weed after. And they're like, come on, even Karen has a side hustle. She does yoga on Saturday mornings. Oh man, and I was dying, bro. No, but people, you have to have that side hustle. You have to find the thing that makes you money, so you're not like working and slaving away.
Yeah, I mean, it's a it's a two-sided, it's a double sword thing, because it's good in the sense that people can, we are in the day and age where people can have that value and they can have that side hustle, like they can make that happen. But at the same time, it's almost getting to the point where people need to do that in order to survive. It's like you said, like people shouldn't have to do that.
No, and that's why that's why people who find their side hustle, a lot of people enjoy what they do, but it's like become a thing where like I think they're trying to make fun of like a California type like workspace where people are like, you don't have a side hustle, and kind of judging you for not spending all your time working your ass off because you have to live like how you want to live. So it's just like, it's fucked up. They're making humor. Like it is just funny to joke about that type of thing, because people are working their lives away and like making you feel bad about it if you don't. Like there's people seriously like that, and it shouldn't be like that. You should have time for yourself. You should have time. I think that's why mental health is like as low as it is too right now in the like especially in the United States, but like probably in the world. But people are more depressed than ever, I feel like, and it's because of how much time they spend working and not being able to do what they want. And even if they want to do what they want, they don't have enough money or time to be able to do what they want.
We're in a time where like evolutionarily we don't know what the fuck to do with ourselves. like we're supposed to be like in the woods like hunting fucking animals and shit. We're just like on the computer. Like, no wonder everybody's fucking anxious and, like, going crazy.
I saw a crazy meme the other day that was, like, modern science has only been, like, a 0.02% of, like, they were, like, people were running around as cavemen for most of like, humanity. Civilization is people were running around for cavemen, and then, like, you get, like, religion, and then it's just, like, modern science, like, this little graph. It's just, like, how did we figure this all out in such a little time?
And it's all Dr. Fauci.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh man, dude. But it really is crazy to think about, like, and I'm glad I'm alive during this time. This is probably the greatest time to be alive, even with all the problems that we have and like what we're dealing with day to day, and like wondering just like what the fuck's going on. I think I spend a lot of my day just wondering. I just read something, I'm just like, what the fuck what is life? Like, what are we doing? This is like wild. Like sometimes it just doesn't feel real.
Yeah. For me, I've almost found some like peace in like finding more time to like read and just like game and just check out. Like it sounds bad. Like it seems kind of fucked up, like being a podcaster and being someone who wants to stay in the know, like hearing about something late, due to that. But like, I don't know. It's like, that's how people used to be.
Yeah. You know, for real. Information gets by so fast nowadays. Like, oh man, I couldn't believe it. Yesterday there was like a huge death in the scene. We talked about it a little bit beforehand, but like there was this 25-year-old guy. He's like younger than me. I couldn't believe it. I looked up. Born in '96, but he was supposed to have this big show in Tennessee tonight at the Caverns at this really cool venue. It's like a cave, and like there's been a lot of cool shows there. But they found him just dead in his hotel room yesterday morning, and it was just like such a shock. This guy was on like a great path. His music was just one of a kind. It was Charles I. You should definitely go listen to his music if you haven't checked him out. He made some beautiful ass trap beats. Like, I don't even like to call him trap because it was more than that. He made a lot more than that, but like the bassist, that's why I loved him, was like his beautiful ass melodic, layered, very creative music. So it sucks to see like somebody that young just like go down like just like that, just so sudden. And then like I just watched that news travel so fast. Like I saw one post about it, and then the rest of the night it was just people talking about it, and it's just like crazy. That's where we're at, like where we're at with technology in our generation. That's everybody knows in an instant. Yeah,
it's crazy. I remember when the insurrection happened. Like I didn't like realize that happened until like the night of, because didn't that happen at like 11 noon or something like that?
Wait, what was it?
The insurrection on January 6th.
Wait. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, the Capitol.
I think it happened either in the late morning or early afternoon.
No,
but like,
wild.
I had like been seeing memes throughout the day of the guy with the horns, but just nothing registered. And then like it was like 6:37 at night, and I'm online. I'm like, holy shit!
Props to them, bro. Have you watched the documentary explaining like QAnon and like the one on HBO Max?
I have not seen it, but I've heard about it.
Oh my god, bro! At the end, and it was just like the owner of 4chan. It was just like him and his son, like this Asian kid, and they like at the end of it, he's just like, yeah, and he's like, I did this, and then he's like, no, if I did this, and the guy's like, or he's like, and then they both just start laughing, and it's just like some Asian kid trolled all of QAnon for years, bro, for years, and then they actually sieged the White House. There's so much bullshit on both sides of that. Watching like the Cortez, the AOC.
I did not see anything about it.
Oh man, she was just like worried for her life. She wasn't even there.
Yeah,
I
remember that. That was a big. I felt like that was a big distraction piece at the time.
Oh, definitely. There's so much shit going on.
They're like, we're just gonna like have this like super. Use the race card and just distract from everything. Have you heard the conspiracy theory or not? Well, conspiracy theory, whatever. That the FBI was involved.
I mean, yeah, they're involved in like everything. Yeah, like the FBI, the CIA. It's just like it doesn't. Oh man, like I saw something the other day that the tapes that they found, that all the evidence in the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, all the tapes were already pre-labeled by the FBI, and they're like, we don't know how all these are pre-labeled. Like they'd already seen it, watched all the evidence, gave them back, and they're like, and then people were like, well, maybe they just bought all that evidence from the FBI. And it's just like anything but to say these guys are a bunch of raging pedophiles running a sick child sex ring. But like, no, it's so bad.
Who knows? Maybe Epstein sent them to the FBI.
Yeah, he was like, hey, you guys want to make sure that the person before me gets found?
They just dig through their archive.
Make sure to send them back, please. No, that whole trial is fucked. I've seen like Twitter accounts with $525,000 followers, $525,000 followers on Twitter just get like taken down, just saying that they were just posting shit that wasn't true. But it was just like nothing about it was like false.
Yeah, it's amazing how little you hear about it.
Yeah, I looked at the New York Times, and the first thing I read, was like the second day of the trial. They were like, Ghislaine Maxwell is wearing all black. It's a little bit different from what she wore before when she was just out with Jeffrey Epstein. They're just like talking about what her fashion wardrobe was like before the trial and during the trial, and I was like, this is what we're here for.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's hard to say what's all going to happen with that. I think doing stuff like this, podcasting and independent media, I think that's going to be the silver lining. That's gonna
honestly, so much of it just gets filtered out, though. Like, it's just crazy. Like, shit like that should be talked about, and more people should be aware and actually care what's going on, because like the list that they have, like the Netflix documentary was kind of bullshit that they did, but it did bring a lot of awareness. But it was made by a bunch of Democrats who were probably involved. So,
wait, the documentary for what?
The first Epstein documentary on Netflix.
Oh, I never watched it.
Oh man, dude, they were just like, we saw one of the girls that was down there was like, we saw Bill Clinton, but he was always nice and he was never doing anything. And I was like, oh yeah, I saw Bill Clinton down there. Well, he was probably like, oh, I'm sorry, girls, I just gotta get back home. I can't do anything about this.
I did not have sexual relations with that little girl.
No. Oh my God. Yeah, no, they're all guilty, weird ass motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's really sad that people don't talk about pedophilia and like the big problem is, and it's all because people are uncomfortable with it.
And there's people that are out there that actually think that like it's a disease. Like, and I like that was like I've seen friends talk about it and just like different little threads and stuff about how people, they might twist it in a way that they're just like, well, we have a problem and we're trying to get help, and it's just like, well, what if they let people off like that, and then they just like try to twist it like it is something weird like that? No, these people should be arrested. Like, this shit's fucked up many lives. So many lives.
So let me ask you this, kind of devil's advocate. What about like if they like haven't committed any, like if they haven't crossed that line, if they just admit that they have these feelings?
No, I don't believe it.
Oh.
Oh no, I like they just said that they've had the feelings, but they never they've never approached. If they just start coming out and like saying, I'd have these feelings, I would think that they're guilty. I would think that they've done something. I don't believe it, especially if they're an elite. Like, if they can get what they want and they're able to, I'm calling bullshit, and you're just trying to get out of it. I'm like, if you can get what you want and you're going to get what you want, like with these elites, I don't believe if you're coming out and saying, I need saved, fuck no, dude. I don't believe you, and you deserve to rot in a cell. Yeah. Like, it's fucked up. Like, you got to think about, like, the lives that people have ruined. Like, you just read about how Ghislaine admitted that they groomed these girls whose father died, like, and then brought the mom in and like just convinced the mom that they were gonna help her with college and give her a bunch of money and like help them out because they needed help after the dad died, and then they groomed that girl for years. And it's just like shit like that. Like, they're fucking up lives. They're ruining people's mental for the rest of their life. Like, nobody's ever going to feel the same after that. And they did that to multiple women. And it's also happened because they felt like they were in positions of power and that they could do what they wanted. And that might be a big thing about it. These people might get the rocks hard, just like the power that they love having, and like over control over anything, which is fucked up.
There's got to be a huge sociopathic egotistical aspect to it, you know? Well, there's a... excuse me, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. There's a guy named Eric Weinstein. He's a podcaster, and he did a podcast where he actually met Jeffrey Epstein and like talked about his interaction with him and all that. Yeah, no, he saw the painting of Bill Clinton and everything, and like there was like Jeff Epstein admitted there was like a video camera that was recording him and all this crazy shit. He had like this chick on his lap that he was just like this like 21-year-old chick that he was just like bouncing on his lap while he was talking to him. Dude, and he was just like so uncomfortable, and he's like, get me the fuck out of here, you know?
Dude, I've heard some crazy things. In the trial, they said the groundskeeper was just like, Ghislaine warned me to never look into the eyes of Jeffrey Epstein, and like people have thought that he's like a demon, like a sexual demon, and like literally like it's just a sexual demon on earth. It's like some people's like, and I could see that, dude, like one of those people that just have that presence that you're just like worried about, like, what the fuck's this person gonna do? But yeah, so I believe it, dude. Like, hey, well, there was multiple people who are like, this guy is just some sort of weird sexual demon deviant thing, and I was like, oh, that's so weird.
But it's crazy that he even got put into that position at all, because like the same guy Eric Weinstein, like he, you know, because he's like a very scientific like physics type of guy, and like he just said like he just didn't think that he had like any scientific inkling. Like there was no reason that he should have been in that high ranking scientific position.
And he lied to get into the college, he said that he had a bunch of experience and they never checked in on the experience, and that's how he got his first college professor job. And then after that, that's when he first got into like finding the young girls and stuff and like sleeping with the students. And then like even the person who hired him, he was like, it's kind of my fault that like he got hired and I never did a background check, and that's what was the start to him just fucking up multiple women's lives. And then it just got worse from there. The whole documentary is crazy. I'd watch it even though like my alarm's going on.
Even though it might be a little biased.
Yeah, no, it might be. Yeah, it's definitely a little biased, but it's still worth the watch just to find out a bunch of crazy, interesting facts about like, and how it's just not being covered more right now. Like this trial's huge. Like he killed himself during his trial, and now like his wife is coming in, or what? Not even wife. Like I don't even mistress is coming in here, and it's just not publicized at all. Especially after the whole Rittenhouse thing. Like,
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, independent media. Subscribe to the McAllister podcast.
No, definitely. You should be. If you haven't subscribed
invest in both
yet.
of our NFTs.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Fuck yeah. And I love that. I love that you're doing that too. I think you and I and Lolo, you know, all of us have a mindset to the future.
Oh yeah, definitely. And you have to be. If you want to progress, like there's no way that you can progress just like not doing progressive things like that, or not jumping aboard things that might fizzle out, that there's some risk to. But like you'll never know unless you take that chance. And one of those things is like cryptocurrency, decentralized social media that's attached to cryptocurrency, NFTs. There's people making millions, thousands of dollars on NFTs, and then you can like there's just so much that you can look into. Like definitely do your research, but those things are so huge.
Yeah, I will say like kind of the sad thing, and I think the reason why people don't like when like people like us talk about this is like we're relying on the success of that on like the failure of the US. You know, like the way for crypto to like shoot up is the way for the US dollar to like just
I know.
plummet. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like something bad's coming. I said this for years though, but like it's either that or everything's gonna go surprisingly well. We're gonna jump into like the metaverse, and like cryptocurrency is gonna pop off. There's gonna be so much stuff attached to it. The U.S. is gonna decriminalize drugs, and the government's gonna find a way to start making money off rehab instead of prison, which is gonna be great. Like all of this stuff, there's like a path where everything could go right, but like most likely we're gonna go to war with China because they do some crazy shit like. Invade Taiwan or something, and then we have to finally back it up because nobody else is gonna stand up to China, and we're gonna have to balls up and fucking do it, which is gonna suck. But
do you really think our generation is capable of like fighting a war? Like,
fuck yeah. We're fucking. I
guess we could fight like a technological war.
Oh my god! Like the U.S. government, like our army, we're set. We might not even have to have it.
I meant more like our generation, like us as in like our age group.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends. The people who have trained for war are ready for war, and we have a well-trained government.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't I hope I don't think there's going to be a draft. I think we have enough people who are who sign up.
Jesus.
But I don't know. I wouldn't want to fight for like our government. I wouldn't want to sign up and under contract and stuff. But if I had to like fight for like a reason, I would definitely do it. But I don't want to sign. I don't want to sign the terms of like a government. So I think like there are people, but like probably for a majority. Most people are fucking idiots.
Well, I guess that's what I'm saying is like I feel like a lot of people in our generation, like a majority of them would not like even get through
whether
basic
they're
training.
not, they're built for it. Mentally, they're probably not ready
mentally
for
or
it.
physically,
like,
you know.
No, you're probably right about that. I think a lot of people would learn a lot about themselves, and I think probably more people would make it than I give credit for. But there's so many bots. Like you look at Facebook nowadays, like you go to the comment section at anything that has a bunch of comments, and you're just like. There are people are really this fucking stupid. Yeah. Like a lot of people. Like I read something. The literacy 70% of Americans have the literacy of a 6th grader.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I read that the other day, and I was like, sheesh.
Yeah, that makes me want to become an alcoholic.
That's probably the problem, bro. People are just so drunk, they're illiterate.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, when the pandemic hit, like alcoholism just skyrocketed. You know, we say as we drink it.
Yeah, I don't drink a lot, dude. I drink a lot during the winter, though. I love eggnog and bourbon.
Yeah, hey, I mean, it's not a bad time to drink. You know, what the fuck else are you gonna do? You're trapped inside.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true. Once I turned 21, I drank a lot, and then I chilled out again. But over the last year, I probably started drinking a lot more, honestly. Even when I go out, I just started casually drinking more.
Yeah, you know, honestly, man, I've slowed down. You can probably to test this and probably tell me no, but I feel like I've slowed down quite a bit the last few months, you know, compared to what I was like 6-8 months ago. Because I was drinking like every day.
Oh man, dude.
Broke. Every day.
In this economy, you can't afford unless you're drinking Hawkeye. I refuse.
Exactly. So yeah, it's a slippery slope. I'm definitely an advocate of alcohol. I enjoy alcohol, but anyways,
I want to give a shout out to all my drinkers. Mostly Lauren and Pedro.
A shout to everybody.
Oh yeah, dude, bro. Lauren is a steady drinker, and I commend him for it. That man gets shit done, bro. But he gets shit done drunk. I remember living with him, dude. He's just up till like 3 a.m, and he had the bedroom upstairs, and he'd just be pacing for hours, bro. And I know, yeah, dude. Oh man, Lauren is a fucking character, bro.
He is a character. Did you see his post about roasting him?
Oh yeah, he's wanted to do that. I remember him talking about this for years, dude. But I was one of those people, like, I would just like. He takes things so personal. One time he like showed up out to eat with a bunch of our friends at Miran, this Mexican restaurant in Oski, and I pulled up a high chair for him before he got there. The motherfucker saw it and left, bro. I was like, what if I did that at your roast, bro? If I sat a high chair up there as soon as you walked in, would you just be like, and just fucking leave, bro? I was like, Lauren can't handle the roast. I was like, God
That's
damn,
the
bro.
test. Yeah,
for real. He's just gonna be sitting there fuming, bro. Fuck you. Like,
well, I think the object is you gotta like balance it out. You gotta trash everyone equally. You gotta like have the audience and have it like everything planned out and make jokes equally about everyone. I think that makes people feel better.
Yeah, that's true. It's
true. Like the fucking Office episode where everybody just goes up there and they just grill Michael and like that's it. Like, yeah, I think anyone would feel. I think the best comedian in the world would just feel like really fucking shitty after that. Like, damn, like I didn't get to fucking like nobody else got shit. Like, it's just me. You know?
No, I'm gonna watch a bunch of roasts that people do on like different.
I watch roasts all the time, man.
Oh man,
fuck yeah.
No, it'll be a good one. And Lauren will be a good sport about it, I'm sure. But yeah, dude, it's just so funny. Like, all of our friend groups, like, Lauren wants to do a roast, so that motherfucker is just going to be pissed as a mug. He's going to be pissed off, bro, by the end of it.
Yeah, people might not talk to each other for a little bit afterwards, but that's okay, you know. That's what friends are for. You gotta talk shit about each other. A healthy amount.
Oh, yeah, and our friend group definitely does do that. Pedro the other day, he, like, shared this meme, and he was like, stop hanging out with your friends who just randomly talk shit to you or say something like fuck you. And Lauren's like, well, I guess we're canceling Pedro, Austin. And I was like, yeah, what is this motherfucker doing sharing this? I was like, you have no business, bro. I'll just send random messages to my friend. I'll be like, ho or bish. And I'll just like, that's how I start off the conversation with them. Like, that's our friend group. And like, people might like, it's so crazy like how offended this generation gets about everything. Dude. You can't like, that's why I like doing these podcasts, but sometimes I'm just like, what if I go off on the wrong thing? That's why I stay off on, like, certain things that I just don't talk about, like, publicly. There's, like, just certain situations that people talk about. Like, I'll talk about the Dave Chappelle thing, because I don't care about, like his latest stand-up, like, and how people got so offended over that. Like, I actually, like, felt, like, his story. Did you watch that one?
Yeah.
By the end of it, like, I had a tear in my eye when he was talking about his friend who, like, his comedian, that lady that he met, and then, like, did the stand-up with and ended up killing herself after she defended him on Twitter. Yeah, dude, that shit was sad as hell. And, like, I can understand where his anger's at and why he's calling them out, and he calls out everybody equally, and I think that, like, yes.
He's really good.
Yeah, for real. So I think it was unfair for people, and like I don't think they could do anything. You can't cancel Dave Chappelle after everything that he's said and done.
No, he's
like,
uncancelable.
He's a genius, and the way he went about it was classy, and I think he called him out, and he had some serious emotion about why he did it, and he's a smart guy, and he's an artist, and he did it in a correct way, and I fucked with that. And I think like cancel culture in general, like there's certain people, like people would be like, well, rapists deserve to get canceled. Like, no shit, rapists deserve to get canceled. Like, but like a lot of people, if they say something that could be forgiven for, they don't need to lose their careers and their like, unless they cross a line like substantially. Like if they like cross it, if they just say something dumb, like an opinion they have because they're not educated enough to make like form like a well opinion, not the right way to say that, well opinionated statement, then yeah, like they should be able to come back from that and not just like be attacked and like be attacked so hard that some people like take their lives from it. Like, the internet's a crazy thing, man, and, like, people, like, I'd love to believe that there's, like, good in a lot of people, but at the same time, a lot of people are so miserable that they just want to make everybody else miserable, I think.
Yeah, well, that's like the never-ending carousel of the internet, you know. Like fuck, I play Left 4 Dead. I feel like every time I go on there, just like Molly gives me shit all the time because I'm just like feeling the fire of like, and I get fucking pissed. I'm like, fuck you, kicking me, fuck you, and I get you know.
Dude, I read a stat the other day. Left 4 Dead had more players than Back 4 Blood. Left 4 Dead 2
it's
did.
popping. That fucking release was trash.
But I never played Back 4 Blood. I love the Left 4 Dead series. It's a little repetitive after a while, but like, I never played Back 4 Blood.
Well, I didn't play the full game either, but I played the beta, and I hated it. I mean, it was basically just a good way someone described it was just Modern Warfare zombies. You know, that's essentially all it was. I mean, and it seemed, the whole thing I liked about Left 4 Dead is like the simplicity of it. It's kind of like those Call of Duty Black Ops games where like you can just hop in and just play, and you don't have like a character with stats, and like you don't have to like I like sometimes having games where you have to think like that, but I also like just being able to walk in and just play for a little bit without being like, where's my character?
Love a good zombie killing game. Like,
fuck yeah.
I love the Resident Evil series. Like, if I had like a top 3 series, my 2 would be Final Fantasy and Resident Evil, like on series that I love the most.
Damn.
And then the third one, probably like to put a shooter there, and it'd probably be Halo, just because like
classic.
It's just such a classic game. I spent a lot of time playing it. And Call of Duty just disappoints me more than it nowadays. I'm excited next year. We'll talk video games for a little bit because I love video games. But next year they're releasing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And then they're also going to release a Warzone map with all of the old MW2 maps from like the 360 days, all like thrown into one. So the Battle Royale map is just going to be all those maps thrown into one map, which will be really cool and nostalgic. But like that's what Call of Duty sells off of now, is nostalgia, which kind of sucks because you're like, I'm buying Modern Warfare 2. I'm just because I'm so hyped for that and just like trying to go back to my days when I was in junior high and high school, just chilling with my friends in the morning on a Saturday, just playing Xbox.
Yeah, there's got to be something when like people buy those games for the second time. They're like, they feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot. You know, like, I'm paying $60 for this again.
Oh man, I just bought Final Fantasy 15 because I played that when it first came out. It came out like 2018 or 2017, something around there. And I put 30 hours into that over this last week that I've played it. Yeah, because it's just like one of those games you're gonna put a lot of hours and grind a lot of hours into and level your characters up. But like I play so many games over again and I never kick myself. Dude, I'm always just like, I fucking love this shit. Dude, I'll play old PS1 games. Like I downloaded on my PSP this game called Chrono Cross that's getting a remaster now, which is really cool. But I downloaded that last year. The only way you could get it is like going to the PS3 store or PSP store because they have like the old PlayStation store.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so I downloaded that on my PSP and was playing that last year. And then like the old Knights Old Republic games, all those are classics. They're all getting remakes though, which is really cool. Like it's really cool to see all my favorite games getting remakes.
My only worry with the remakes is like if they suck and then they make it like impossible to be able to play the old one.
Yeah, did you play any of the Final Fantasies?
No, I never did.
Dude, Final Fantasy 7, they like remade the game, and so like I'll just kind of a rundown. The old game was like, it's like kind of the same game, but they're kind of playing it as the old game was like a dream. The beginning of the remake was like you waking up from the dream of the last game. It started off the same way as the last one, except everything's a little different. And like your characters are all aware. They're like remembering all the playthroughs from the first game, but little things are changed. It's so fucking nuts. Like a lot of old people are like, fuck this, we wanted a direct remake. But me thinking about it, like this game was made in like the 90s, and now they've made it to a point where this game is building off the story from the last one instead of just remaking it. And like everybody's aware, like there's certain characters that die in the game that are like aware that they're gonna die. You can see it click in their head and they're like, because things are going the same way, but they like want to change it. It's so nuts. Like that, I've been waiting on the second part to that remake for like, they only released the first part and I think they're releasing it in like 3 different parts. But I've been waiting to see what comes next because it's so insane. Like the Reddit threads on it, and like it's crazy that like a great kind of legendary company like Square Enix can build off a game that they made in the 90s, completely remake it, but also like add on to the story at the same time so that you don't know what's going to happen next. You don't know how the game's going to end. It can end completely the same as the first one, or it can end like completely different. The story could all change. The certain characters might not die and stuff. Like, it's insane. I fucking love video games. Haley hates it. Haley, dude, she was like, I didn't know you were such a gamer, because I met her at a time where I was just traveling around festivals and like didn't have time for it and like was just like living life. But like I was built on every console. We've had like every console since the Nintendo 64. Xbox came out, the PlayStation. Like my dad, my stepdad, he like loved all games. So I built off that. Like I've definitely grown off that, and Haley's found out in like the last couple of years that like if there's a game to be played, and I'll play it for sure, dude. I love video games.
Yeah, that's one thing I like about Molly is we're both gamers. She's more of a gamer than me sometimes.
Oh yeah, dude. I tried to get Haley. I got her a Switch when I got a PS4. I Switch. Yeah, no, the Nintendo Switch is solid. I played the Pokemons on there, hundreds of hours on the Pokemons on there. Oh man,
yeah.
dude.
I remember I played Pokemon on the Game Boy when I was growing up.
Oh yeah.
But like when I was growing up, video games were like banned from my house essentially. Most of them.
Oh really?
Yeah, I got to play like Zoo, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and some other like really
like Zoo Tycoon.
Zoo Tycoon, yeah, shit like that.
My mom loved those games too.
Yeah, I played like Game Boy games like Pokemon, Homer, Hit and Run, but like I would go with my friends and play like the Call of Duty and shit. So I still like got it. I'm still kind of aware. But yeah, there's like a whole video. I'm like catching up in my.
Is your family like Christian?
Yeah, they're super hardcore.
So
they believe the whole like video games make you violent, rot your brain. Like that old.
Did you see that
school.
video shared from the pastor that was talking about the Pokemon cards? And like somebody shared it.
Can we pull that up?
Oh man, it's just like this. Say, you'll probably look up pastor and Pokemon cards. Just Google it, Pokemon card video.
Oh, I love
and
this
it's
shit.
just like, and somebody shared it, and they're like, "This is the reason why my mom threw out my entire Pokemon collection when I was a kid. Threw out all of his cards and stuff."
We were just talking the other day. It might have been on the last episode.
Yeah, Pokemon power right there.
I was banned from Yu-Gi-Oh cards as a kid too. Okay. Yeah, there you go. Pokemon power. Yeah, I was banned from
because
Yu-Gi-Oh
it's
cards.
important
My grandma fucking got me a bunch of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and like my parents threw
for
them
the
out.
church to deal with issues as they come to the forefront.
What? Blocking us again.
No.
They come to the forefront.
Oh, it might just be the video.
Mute?
Just go skip
Try
forward a little bit.
bit.
Go forward a little bit. Maybe just.
Nope.
What?
Try a different video.
That's what happens when you get rid of the dislike button. You can't fucking tell if it's a bad video or not.
Oh
what
man.
The fuck? They take it down for copyright? Here.
Wait, that's not even the same pastor. I saw a whole different pastor, dude. This must have been a thing. Yeah, Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, Harry Potter. I remember when they released Harry Potter.
Because
that
it's
was like a big thing.
For the church to deal with issues as they come to the forefront in society. I said, son, what is that one morning? He said, that's Pokemon. Son, I found out that Pokemon means pocket monster. Pokemon is
I've got a pocket monster.
Plural, are incredible creatures that share the world with humans. Each has his own fighting abilities. Some grow and evolve into even more powerful creatures. The children are developing relationships with all these Pokemon creatures. Little, reclusive, power-filled monsters. But why should they carry these monsters in their pocket? They say the Pokemon whole effort is to train children how to become the #1 Pokemon master in the world. You follow through the New Age teaching, you find out that masters are those who take control of spirits in the dark realm. And they tell those...
Isn't that capitalism? like being the best. Isn't that the whole goal?
You want to be the best, you want to make the most money, and you want to give out none of it.
Oh, but for Pokemon, no, you can't do that.
No,
All right, start again. Sorry, I just thought that was
Spirits what to do. The child at some point becomes capable of taking these powers and channeling them through their mind, through their arms, or through their power sources. Their power sources, of course, are many of the symbols that they pick up from the Pokemon paraphernalia. So Pokemon is a game that teaches children how to enter the world of witchcraft, how to cast spells, how to use psychic phenomena, how to put to work supernatural powers against their enemies, how to fantasy role play. Pokemon world is a world of the demonic, of the satanic.
Oh, you went there. I wonder where he's going to go with it. This is a whole different pastor video. So like that's hilarious.
Satan takes it quite seriously. Your children need to know there's a devil and he hates them and he wants to ruin their life. There was even a couple of reports where children had been stabbed by other children over Pokemon cards. Do you remember the Dungeons and Dragons game of the 80s where children, young people even ended up killing themselves because it was a role-playing game? Our kids are going out in gangs on the streets and they're so used to killing each other in their fantasy games and their video screens and blowing each other away and blowing each other up that when they walk down the streets and they pull out their 45 and they pump some friend full of bullets, they kind of think in the back of their mind, well, they're just going to, we'll turn off the machine and they'll get up and they'll be there tomorrow and I'll shoot them again. It's just a game.
No more
To which I
Pokemon,
respond,
Molly.
Russian
Can't play
roulette
anymore.
is just a game. But they're so into this make-believe world that they can't distinguish between fantasy and real. Listen, I can't stress this enough.
Yeah.
How that
obviously.
everything
All right,
in
we're
life
good.
is real.
Oh man, dude. Yeah, it's just
Everything.
like things like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Harry Potter. Like those are all things that people got so afraid
Oh
of.
my gosh, dude! My parents got freaked out over Harry Potter too. They banned me from Harry Potter.
Oh my
I went to a
God.
Catholic school, and all my fucking friends at Catholic school were reading Harry Potter, and they're like, "What the fuck is wrong with like your family? Like not letting you read
100%.
this?" And then my mom finally realized, "Yeah, it's not that bad." It's like, Jesus
For
fucking
real,
Christ!
for real.
Believe anything, you fucking.
Oh man, dude.
Look at the source material. It's my you know, if it's getting sold to consumers, it can't be that bad for an adult, you know.
Yeah, honestly, like things are getting like it is crazy to see like where we've come like over the last how so much stuff is acceptable now that's just like not that wouldn't have been acceptable even like 10
Yeah.
years ago, 15 years ago, and then stuff that like gets you canceled or fucked that's just like was accepted like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Like times change and you just have to roll with the punches and honestly just go with the
Yeah,
flow.
exactly. Can you imagine that Elvis was once devil's music? Like listening to his music, like you can't believe that people thought that was evil.
Yeah, for real. Wasn't
like-
Elvis a thief? Didn't he like steal all his
Oh,
music?
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Stole his music?
Stole like his I think he stole it from like black people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
or maybe it was Johnny Cash. What I think it might have been. I don't
Elvis
know.
probably. I think
I
you
think
know
it was
now that
Elvis.
you meant.
I think it was Elvis.
Now that
Elvis
you think
sounds
say that, I
right.
think I have heard that.
Yeah.
I think maybe Jailhouse Rock was stolen.
Yeah, all the cool stuff stolen from black people. Honestly, that's true. I remember seeing this meme. I was like, Lauren, you shared it, and it was like, black people make things cool. White people make things safe.
That's good. That's fucking good.
I was like, oh shit.
That's funny. I haven't heard that one. God damn.
Oh, for real.
So you're obviously wearing a hat, but I'm curious, like your dreads. How long have you worked on that? Like, what has been your
So my
journey?
so I had long hair for a while. So after high school, I always knew I wanted to have long hair, and like I've been growing my hair out since I worked at Pizza Hut, like right after high school. And so I've been growing. When was that? 2014. So like we're sitting at nearly 8 years that I've been growing my hair out, and I started getting dreads when I moved up to West Des Moines. And like the thing about my dreads are, 'cause I know like some people think that like it's like not culturally appropriate and shit like that, but I have like a lot of people like a lot of black people who like even appreciate it or like come up to me and compliment me on my dreads. And like I would probably, if I went out and like got my dreads done and like they didn't like my hair, all I've done is pull apart my hair. It all mats together like that. So like it's been a process of just my hair always used to like get this cowlick and stuff, and like I would just wake up with like knots in my hair, like, and I would have to brush them out and stuff. So like this is all natural. I've never put any wax in them. I've never went to somebody to get them done. Like my hair just clumped up together,
impressive.
and yeah, so I just pull them apart and I have an ass load of dreads. I remember the first time I counted, I didn't want this many. I only wanted like a few, and then like my hair just started going crazy, and I had like 50 dreads one day, and now I've got a full dread head.
Damn. I know you got it all up. Are you able to show,
Oh, yeah.
show
Oh,
your
yeah.
dreads? Sorry. not
Oh
to-
no, you're good.
Oh, it's all tied up, I guess.
Oh yeah. No, I've got it all tied up right
Wow.
now, which is yeah. But the crazy thing is, like, it's tied up and it's folded. Here, I'll take these off.
So how long have you? I don't know if you said that. How long have you been doing that?
My dreads probably started in like 2018. So when I started dreading it, yeah. When I moved up to West Des Moines, somebody's calling me real quick. Yeah, but yeah, so it's probably been like a good 4 years that I've had my dreads and stuff, and like I like to keep not all my hair's dreaded, some of it's loose hanging and stuff, and I like to keep it like that too. I like the way I can fashion it, but yeah, it's really cool. I like folding. I love the bells on this hat, but I like being able to fold up my hair. Since it's gotten longer, it's been really nice because my hair used to be down to like my belly button almost, and then like when my dreads came, it shortened up a lot, and people have been noticing my hair getting longer with my dreads, so it's been cool. Who knows how long I'm gonna get them though? I'm not really sure exactly how long I want to keep my dreads, but
Just gotta go out. Okay. How long have you been? I just fucking asked that. What the? How do you wash? Like, do you wash it or do you
yeah,
just
just
let
wash
go?
my hair. Yeah, I wash it like normal. Like I use Head and Shoulders, because it's never not working, as they say. But I use Head and Shoulders, and like I just wash it a couple times a week. I washed it today for the occasion, which is nice. It's still kind of wet, tied up underneath this hat. So, yeah,
So at a point, does it just like not ruin it if you wash it?
No, it's not. It doesn't ruin it at all. Honestly, I've been washing my hair the whole time. I never had to. I think. Honestly, like there's some people from my hometown. I don't know who brought up that people didn't wash their hair, but I'm sure it's something racist. Like I'm sure it just has racist heritage that like people didn't wash their hair with dreads. And like I hate to tell people that, but like I'm down in my hometown. There was like this guy giving me a bunch of shit like, you never wash your hair, and I was like, oh, I bet I shower more than you do. And I was just like, God, dude, people are so obnoxious sometimes.
So my ex-wife actually tried to do dreads for like 6-8 months. Didn't last long.
Some people just can't do it. Like your hair's just not built for it.
Well, I mean, she could have done it, but like it was approaching our wedding day, and everybody was like, "No, you're not gonna like have fucking half dreads." For that
people
shit.
should do what they want, but half dreads, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it was weird though, because she would use like vinegar. Like she would use like a spray bottle of vinegar, and that's how she washed her hair. It was disgusting.
Yeah, no, hell no. No, I wash my hair normally. My dreads and my hair sticks together. I don't know. I think some people can do it, and some people can't. But yeah, I'm at the point now where I'm never gonna brush my hair out, so I just have to live with them until I decide to shave my head. But I don't know. I don't plan on shaving my head anytime soon. I like it. I feel like I remember like just having long hair and just like having like I don't know. There's always like as people talked about the spiritual connection that people have with long hair.
Yeah, I used to have really long hair myself.
Oh, really?
All the way down my shoulders.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Well,
when she gets back in here, we'll pull up a picture.
Yeah, I'll show you afterward. But how many shows would you say have you been to total?
Like been like
yeah.
Oh my
I'm
God.
sure it's like an insane
I started
number.
traveling a lot in 2016. Like festival wise, I've definitely been to over 20. Like 3-day music festivals at least. Like over 20 easy shows, hundreds. Like if I think about it myself, I've thrown probably nearly 50 shows since 2018, like just different one-off hip-hop events, EDM events, locals. Like, oh man, I've been to hundreds. I'll probably be to 1,000 in like a couple years maybe.
Okay.
Like I've been to hundreds of shows for sure.
Wow. Do you ever get like any kind of anxiety being in shows, or are you just completely comfortable?
I mean, I get anxiety before I go out. Like it just sucks. Like especially, I don't know, over the last year or so, especially when we weren't going out a lot. Getting adjusted to going back out, it's been like kind of weird. Like in Des Moines, when I wasn't able to go out to Nightingale, like the only place they were having shows at the time, it was weird. I didn't go out a lot then because it was the only place that people were like having shows and I wasn't allowed there. So like going out and like just dealing with some drama like of the scene. You're gonna have a drama in every scene, or like just going out and trying to figure out what conversation you're gonna have and stuff with different people. But once I get out there, it's always so natural. It's always so easy. Like people are generally easy to talk to, and like I've seen a lot of people. I'm just trying to keep like an open, like kind of like an open book thing, dude. I'm easy to read, like, and I'll talk to people about anything. Honestly, like I love connecting with people and having the conversations that I'm gonna remember about somebody, and like picking out like. Because I'm a guy who's really bad with names, even. Like, I'll remember conversations that we've had, like, before I'll even remember faces sometimes, because it'll be, like, a dark place, or, like, I'll just be a little turn up. But, like, you bring up, like, what we talked about last, I'll be like, oh, yeah, dude, I remember exactly that. Like, somebody came up to me at our show last Friday, and, God, I forgot what his name is, dude. I was turned last Friday. I was turned last Friday, dude. But it was a good time. But he came up to me and he like was talking to me, told me his name, and then he was like, I came up to you at Infrasound, and I remember he came up to me and like thanked me for Field Trip and like said he had a great time at Field Trip, and I like remembered the conversation like that we had, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember you. So like it's weird. Because I've met so many people and like so many names and faces, like it's insane. But I'll remember like the cool like little interactions that I have and the ways that I connect with people, which is really cool.
Fuck yeah. And that's a skill that you have, that you're able to do that. People might not appreciate that, but like you be able to like go to live events and like do that, like that plays a huge role, I'm sure, in your business.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that
Duke.
I think that being able to go out.
You know what? Let's just take a break.
All right, yeah, I'm down with that. Break time.
All right, everybody, we're back. Sorry, my animals suck and they like to interrupt everything.
They want their camera. They love the camera. They want to be on.
Yeah, I always say like, there's gonna be a day where he goes back to the pound. I can't take it anymore. I'm like, all right, we're gonna have Joe Rogan on as a special guest, and Duke's just gonna come in and bite his face off.
Man,
like you're gone, man.
Yeah, Haley's been having that problem with the cats because our cat Albin keeps eating up her she has tank tops that just have elastic strings that hold the shoulders. And he just loves eating those.
Oh yeah, we've had that problem too with Duke eating our clothes. It sucks. We kind of talked about everything that we were going to today. I think I don't think you really had anything, but you had a couple things before we wrapped up. You had some merch coming up that you wanted to talk about, and what do you got going?
Yeah, so right now we talked about the merch collaboration that we have coming up with Third Vision, but we knocked out some hats that we're pulling up for Stutterbox Productions. We got some stocking caps that are pulled up. We made these through Silocentric. We put the logos
click on the photo, Molly. Sorry.
We put the logos on there, and they're going to be embroidered on there. Obviously, we just threw them on there so people know what colors are going to be on there, but those are going to be embroidered logos. I really enjoy. I'm going to have both of them, honestly, but I really enjoy the black on black. I really like that. I'm excited to see how those ones turn out, dude, with the purple and green outline. And then a lot of people, we've had a lot of black merch, so I just wanted to get some color out there for the people, give people some purple hats, some white and green. I think that'll be cool.
Isn't Pepin and purple and white were our school's colors, so I'm very familiar with purple and white.
Nice, dude. I'll have to grab one of those, match, go to a football game.
Yeah, cool shit, man.
Yeah, no, I'm stoked for those. Those are $25. You can get them. Go to our Facebook page, Stutterbox Productions. We have the post on there, obviously, and in the comments we have the link to the Silocentric website where you can order those. And if you're in Des Moines, you can get local pickup, and you can reach out to Stutterbox page or to me, and we can work something out, or you can get it shipped to you. And they're pretty affordable, like $25, not too bad. They're gonna be quality. They're gonna be stretchy. They're gonna have a little room to them. Obviously, I have all these dreads. People have been hitting me up about the sizing of them because people like some loose fitted stocking caps, not tight to head. So they're gonna be nice. Gonna be some quality. I'm excited. Silocentric always pulls through. So,
fuck yeah. Yeah, I'll have to grab one of those, man. Yeah, I love that logo. That.
Yeah, no, it's great. And Will Weiland made the original logo, and then we had JC. She ended up remaking the logo, and that's who she made both of these ones. Just kind of gave it some more color. And I've had 7 or 8 logos with different colors and stuff. She really killed the logo package that she made when she redid those. We're thinking about getting some new logos made. I don't know what I want to do yet, but launching some new merch with the new Stutterbox logo. We've been running with the Digi logo for years now, at least 3 years, a year since we got into it. So
yeah, when we when the podcast rebrands next year, a new logo is definitely going to be in there.
Nice. Hit up Jason. House of Leopold makes dope logos.
Yeah.
I always recommend her. I know Jaden. He makes killer graphic design, Guerrilla Graphics. They do video work for me too. Those guys just plug people in at the end here. Those guys are all great on their craft. Like I love having a good team that I can call to and they can be able to jump in and make me some quality content. Like that's so in this industry. Being able to have quality that people look at and like it's above average. That's what's made Stutterbox. Like when I first got in, this Jason Boyles, he was a friend of my homie James, one of the OG founders, and he just made great work. Did some work for us, and he ended up going through and he ended up working on the Dance Fest. Every year he makes the Dance Fest recaps. He does Cosmic Kingdom now. Like really upgraded and like shouts out to him because he made some great video content for Stutterbox. Like when we first got out, that really caught people's eyes and made people want to go out. So just having quality content, dude, really killer in this industry.
Fuck yeah. I think we're all in, the podcast also is going to be collaborating with a lot of people.
Nice.
Here, Yeah, there's a lot of talent. I feel like not enough people appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for real.
But yeah, what else did you say you had a 4-year anniversary?
So the last thing I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to plug some info about our 4-year anniversary. I think that people... it's crazy that Stutterbox has been around for 4 years now.
Yeah.
We weren't able to throw a 3-year anniversary last year, obviously, which kind of sucks because of COVID.
Yeah.
It's our birthday's in February. Our first show that we ever threw was our first Space Base in the old Mexican restaurants. In 2018, we threw a Space Base with Nora the Boy and Tripio. And that's like our birthday for it. So February 18th, we are having a show at Gabe's. It is going to be on the heavier side. We've got some artists who have released on the Ganja White Knight label on Subcarbon. So it's going to be Iowa City. I think they're going to love it. We've also brought in some of my favorite openers for like local talent. And yeah, it sucks to call them openers because they could be headliners on some shows that I throw. Like they deserve it. Like super talented lineup. It's going to be at Gabe's on February 18th. It's a Friday night. The lineup's stacked. I'm super stoked. I'm working with Malcolm, a medicine place, on this one again. Anything in Iowa City, we just threw the Sub-Seasons event. They went really well. I love working in Iowa City. There's a lot of love out there for Stutterbox. The venues are great. Gabe's is great. And they really give a good platform. And they actually care about the platform, like the EDM. And they care about the people who are bringing in. And they respect us. And they want to help us as we're helping them. Like, they're really appreciative. So... yeah, come out to Gabe's on February 18th. We're going to have a lineup released real soon, I'm sure. We just got the contract signed and stuff, so we're getting after it. 4-year anniversary. I'm very stoked.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome, man. Like I said, it's crazy that you've been doing this for 4 years.
For real, I'm more than a novice now. I remember when I first started throwing just darts at the board at this, like, it's just fake it till you make it type shit. And now, like, I'm able, I feel like I've gained a lot of respect in the industry. I've made a lot of good deals. I've worked with a lot of different agencies and like a lot of different artists who you see like. I take pride in this. There's like so many artists that I've booked before they're on Cosmic Kingdom, before they're getting brought in on like the bigger people's tours. Like there's so many artists. Like if there's a lineup now and like they're coming through on a tour that I'm not bringing through, there's like usually 1 or 2 artists on that tour that's already been through Iowa and like I've already built a fan base for them. And I think that's something to be proud of, like finding that talent that's going to be brought through that's going to make it to the next level. Sometimes it sucks that I'm like, I can't get them, but I also can create platforms for these artists that are like, instead of them coming in on somebody else's tour, like I'm the type of guy who can give these guys the main stage platform, like these underground artists. So that's what I take pride in doing. And it's awesome. Cool to see the growth of these artists and me growing with them at the same time. So yeah, 4 years. Let's go. 4 more coming up.
Awesome. Well, man, you have a vision, you have a drive, and I fucking love it, man. A lot of this podcast, the outreach that we've had, I have to contribute to you and Lolo. You guys came in on number 13, and like that episode was like a landmark episode where I really like, that was when I really first started fucking with real artists and real people and shit. And so I love having you on.
That was such a fun episode. I remember that, dude. And me and Lauren were sharing the shit out of that because me and Lauren, that's why I'm excited when you guys get the new format going next year. Like, I know Lauren's already got something planned on there, but I'd love to come on with Lauren and there's some other people. Like, I'd love to bring Malcolm on here and come on with Malcolm and like talk about some shit that like, cause there's so much shit that I didn't even get to today. I spent today like reminiscing, kind of giving like a little bit of background, like our first, kind of giving the people a little bit of information that maybe they've thought about asking or I've been asked before. So it's really cool to do that. But there's just so many different things I'm working on with so many different people. Like it'd just be fun to come in and explain that and like the time that we have. And
no, I would love that. I would love you to come back regularly with other people. That'd be fucking awesome. We could do some great stuff. Austin, I feel like it's a good time to probably wrap this up.
Yeah, let's do it.
I put links in the description, but otherwise, where can people find you? And all that?
Yeah, so pretty much Facebook, Stutterbox Productions, easy to find. I think Instagram is Stutterbox_Productions. I don't know if I put all the social media. We're on Twitter a little bit. Diamond platform. If you're gonna get on the Diamond app, or Clout Feed. If you can download Clout Feed, it's an app on your phone that connects you to the social media platform. And get on there, follow Stutterboss. Let me know. Send me a message when you get on there. I'll give you a shout out right away. Like my following's not super big, but Lauren got on there. I haven't given you a shout out yet. I've been slacking. This last week I've been busy, dude. But I'm gonna get on there. I'm gonna invest in the homies coins. I put a bunch of Ds on there. I was on waiting for an NFT drop that never came, so I'm putting in money into coins. Like get on there. Let me know that you're on there. I'll share it. We'll get you up there. We'll try to work on this together. We'll create a solid community. So yeah, find me on there.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing with the podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Exactly.
Awesome. It's been a pleasure, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you again.
Stay tuned. Next week we're not gonna have a guest. We're just gonna have a regular upload. So
nice.
Yeah, if you want that, come enjoy it.
Yeah, come check it out. Follow. Make sure to subscribe. Subscribe to the podcast. If you checked in today, if you checked in to me today and we just wanted to see what was up, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't take much. You already got a YouTube channel. Like, make sure to like that shit. Comment on posts. Like, this is just a friendly reminder for people who want to support their friend's business to comment on posts, share their posts, get that outreach, because people are going to like the little things that you do that doesn't take time at all. Like that can help you expand your friend's business is crazy that people don't do. Like, just support. It doesn't take much.
Yeah. If you're still watching at this point and you're not subscribed, you're dead to me.
Done point. Leave a comment if you're subscribed. We're coming for you. Or if you didn't, so leave a comment if you didn't subscribe.
The next episode, we're just gonna dox you and we're gonna send the mob on your house. No.